Understanding the money rules that the rich live by was the game changer for me. Figuring them out and really breaking them down and understanding them is exactly what we're going to do in this video. Starting with number one, paying yourself first. Now, there's a lot of different ways that you can do this, but it involves taking a portion of your income and paying yourself first. This means it is going to savings, it's going to go to investing, it's going to go to debt repayment before the other expenses. So the rich really know that you can't live outside of your means. If you're debt financing everything, it is going to be incredibly expensive. You're not going to reach your financial goals. You need to automate that savings and set money aside with a predetermined amount at a predetermined time. If this means taking $25 or $50 out of every paycheck, if it means putting 4% into an account, it is going to make a difference paying yourself first, because what is left over within the budget is exactly what you're going to live on, making it a really big game changer. Number two, building multiple income streams. This is the reason why I started with just a job. When you're at a job and your salary, or even if you're hourly, you are tied to your time for their money. That is it. You realize very fast that the more you work, the more money you can make. However, there's only a set amount of time that you can work. There's only so many hours in a day. This is where we had to get into the passive income streams. Now, this can come from a lot of different places. Long-term financial security is built with passive income streams. I believe this wholeheartedly, and when I understood it, it was really clear and really easy to see. So for instance, right now we're doing YouTube videos. When I get off of camera and the YouTube video is posted, if it does generate an income, even if I don't record another video, it is going to be a passive income stream. So now I have my job, now I have my YouTube income. When you combine that with owning stocks, with owning bonds, with real estate, with business income, anything that is going to pay you passively, you are now getting not only the job where you're making your regular 9-to-5 income, but you also have a side hustle. Now, 54% of Americans do have a side hustle at this point, which is kind of crazy. But overall, a lot of people do need to work those side hustles until they can get their debt under control, until they can get the investment portfolio set to where you're actually generating that additional income stream. This is going to be huge, especially in the case where you might lose a job, or if something happens, you're going to have additional funds to get back into. Rule number three, using debt wisely. Now, as much as I don't like debt Dave Ramsey style, there's a big difference between good debt and bad debt. Good debt is essentially something that can grow with time, that can grow income, that can grow a bunch of different ways. When you look at buying a house, I know a lot of people might say a house is not a good investment. Overall, houses notoriously throughout the years have appreciated in value, meaning they're worth a lot more than when we bought it. Personally, here we bought our house for $300,000. It is now well over $500,000, which is kind of crazy in the last decade that the house's prices have gone from there. But initial investment $300,000, 10-year return looking at almost $600,000. So we're up 100% in 10 years, which I'm pretty happy about. And we've had 10 years to live in the house, which is absolutely incredible. Now, bad debt is the one you want to stay away from. This is really the opposite of the rich using debt wisely. If you have high debt or high interest debt, this is credit cards. They are devastating. $1.13 trillion in credit card debt means that roughly 20 to 22% on those balances that they're carrying means that you don't have money to invest. You're living outside of your means. You're supplementing income with credit card debt. The rich know using debt that is going to generate an asset versus utilizing debt that is going to be a liability and create an absolute black hole. Remember, the biggest tool that you have in your toolbox is the ability to have your income and keep a majority of your income. The more income that you generate, the better, but it is all about what you're keeping. For instance, if you're earning $50,000 a year, you're paying out $52,000 a year, you're underwater, and it is going to run out of time to the point where you cannot afford anything. Now, before we get into the next step, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you guys think as we continue with these rules. Number 4, minimize your taxes. This is a huge thing that the rich absolutely do anyway, and I know a lot of people know when they talk about people who make an extraordinary amount of income, the taxes are offset, or most of them do not pay taxes in their entirety. Now, there's a lot of ways, even if you're not a millionaire, even if you're not a high income earner, that you can go ahead and you can minimize your taxes. Now, these tax advantage accounts, when we look at IRAs, when you look at 401ks, when you look at HSAs, when you look at putting money into 529 plans, college savings plans, capital gains tax. There's a lot of different ways to spin this to minimize the tax that you're paying, because essentially every dollar you're not paying in tax is, again, looking at that paycheck, another dollar that you're going to be able to keep and you're going to be able to keep in your pocket. Now, of course, for this, seek tax advice. Tax professional guys, I cannot stress it enough. Spend the money, get the tax advice, and see exactly what you can do to lower the taxes. Getting into number 5, continuously investing in yourself. When you look at the wealthy, when you look at the rich, a lot of them invest in themselves. They're taking courses, they're consuming knowledge, they're reading books, they're going to leadership courses. There's a lot of things that you can do, from formal education, professional certifications, reading, seminars, networking, so many things, especially with the rise of, the clubs and the groups and the social media and Discord. There's a lot of people where you can really surround yourself, which is number 6, with like-minded individuals. If you're someone who is very passionate about gaming, like I am, I have a gaming channel as well over on Discord, have my own Discord server. We can chat about games all day long because it is something that is very like-minded. I also love the financial counseling, financial planning, and education. I also do love the investing part of it, which, again, I'm part of some investor groups, some Facebook groups, a couple different ways that we have this. Now, of course, networking, mentorship, partnership, whatever it is, collaboration. The rich build the network, joining groups of professionals together, where if you need something, you have a kind of even an idea, you have a group of individuals that you can go ahead and bounce things off. This might include mastermind groups, which a big shout out to our VRA fam, mentorship programs. A lot of things are through schools, but again, you can build a very hefty supportive network by attending conferences, workshops, networking events. A lot of them, online forums, ton of places that you can get an incredible amount of value. Just really vet the source that you're getting it from. When it comes to investment advice and things of that nature, make sure you know that it is good. Rule number 7 for the rich, thinking long-term. When we think about long-term, compounding interest is the 8th wonder of the world. Investment returns, financial security, peace of mind, even getting insurance to think long-term. If something should happen where it is job loss, or if something should happen like an unexpected health expense, if there's a death in the family, you're going to be covered because you're thinking long-term. Even when it comes to the investment strategy, we are talking 7+ years. Now, the market is going to go up, it's going to go down. Notoriously, over the last 15 years, we have seen the S&P 500 up almost 15%, which is kind of crazy. So when you start thinking long-term, it is a game changer. And at a much younger age, this is something that I never did. The long-term thinking really wasn't there. It was more about, how am I going to get by in the moment? What do I have to pay for this month, without the anticipation of the savings, or I'd be in a much better position than we are today. Rule number 8, maintaining a healthy balance between the risk and the reward. This, of course, is something that is huge. You have to understand the risk between the reward, because a lot of people, even thinking of the crypto market, put a ton of money into the crypto market, not knowing exactly what the high risk was, losing all their money, pulling out of the market, and saying at that point that they are never going back. The investments are not going back in the market because they didn't do the research. They were not balancing the risk between the reward, which, of course, the rich have to do this. That is how they stay rich when it comes to the diversification. This is the reason why I choose ETFs. When I look at the VOO, when I look at the Vanguard, the VUG, the growth fund, really diversification is key across classes and industries, and adjusting the portfolio at a minimum, I would say every 6 to 12 months, knowing exactly what it is invested in. And for a majority of people that are investing, they might hear a stock tip or they might be in a company. You have to do your research and understand exactly what you're invested in and also what the risk is. For me, diversification, again, is key, making sure that we are really over the S&P 500, covering and diversifying across all of the different industries. Number 9, don't be afraid to seek professional advice. Now, this is something that I have really been leaning heavy into, having a financial advisor, having a tax accountant, but even going as far as the YouTube videos, where having an editor, having someone who is doing the SEO work, having someone that is going to take the burden off of myself, where if I'm editing a video, it is 3 or 4 hours of editing time. Over on a professional side, they can do it much faster with the fee. Once we get this channel really growing, up and running, start getting some revenue, we're gonna have a team kind of built out that we can produce content in a much higher quality content within probably a day turnaround time. Now, of course, when it comes to financial professionals, research and review anybody that you're looking to hire, know their track record, know exactly what they're doing, how they perform, and also how they act when you have conversations. You have to make sure that your personalities click and that everything is gonna go kind of together. You're on the same plan, because if you're going in, thinking one way and they throw a curveball in something that you didn't even think about, or something that is not even on your radar, or it turns you off, you have to make sure through the interview process that not only they are a fit for you, but you are going to be a fit for them. So in conclusion, there are some rules that the rich definitely know that we are not following. When I got to the point of following all of these rules, it made a huge impact on my financial success. Started investing a lot more. We're already north of $500,000. We have multiple income streams at this point. Debt, the only thing we have, which is going to be paid off shortly, is the home itself. Minimizing the taxes. I do have a tax advisor that I consult on a regular basis. Also have businesses set up to go ahead and cut some of the tax burden. Investing in myself. I do online education. Do a lot, again, with the VRA fam over on Facebook, and also kind of improving my skills and abilities with YouTube. And of course, thinking long-term while balancing that risk and reward. All right, so that is gonna do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.